Well, Dr. Mike and I are falling even further behind in our Hollywood Vampire album review, and they're not helping us because we're putting out another one, but it's great news. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bog Panda. I am Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram, and with joining me as always.
I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment. There's going to be plenty to comment on in this episode. I'm sure of it. Check out our merch store, pick something up, come back again. Leave some more comments. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss future episodes while you're catching up on the back catalog. And remember that Kelly and I can give it to you hard in under a minute because we have the world's shortest podcast, Hard No, which you can only get here on the Bog Panda channel.
It doesn't really matter if you start the show or if you're the guy who talks second. I gotta, Hard No seemed like a great name for the world's shortest podcast. But much like Squat Cobbler, at some point we may need to retire the name and go with something different.
See, like there's too many episodes Hard No.
There are quite a few.
Yeah.
Although I think we had quite a few Squat Cobblers before we switched to Bog Panda. We're glad we did, but that's because we listened to our listeners who one of them was nice to say, dudes, stop it with the Squat Cobbler thing. Get another name. So we did. But tonight we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics, Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper's whole run, very balanced power of control band, the Hollywood Vampires, and with Johnny Depp in it, Tommy Hendrickson from his band, as well, and Joe Perry comprise the main Hollywood Vampires. And they put out a couple good things that we will talk about one of these days, but they're putting out something we also love quite a bit here at Bog Panda, which is live albums. And so Live in Rio is going to come out in June. There'll be a single off of it. I've got a line on you, and it's looks pretty good. Going through the set list here, I'm actually pretty excited about it. What are your thoughts on live from Rio?
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited by this. I was hoping for more Hollywood Vampires, and I think we had mentioned in a previous episode, you guys should go back and watch all of them to see if we're correct or not. I think we mentioned in previous episode that we hoped they would put out a live album specifically at some point. That it would just make sense given that they, have some touring under their belt, and it's just a way for us to get more material from them. So this is pretty exciting. It was recorded at the Rock in Rio Fest, which is one of the biggest music festivals in the world. So that's pretty exciting. So, there's going to be a huge audience there. So you're going to hear a lot of audience feedback and things like that. And you would think it's going to be a high energy performance. So I'm really looking forward to that. You'd mentioned, the single off of it, which is a song that Alice has recorded as a solo artist as well already.
Yeah, which is what I was familiar with, originally a Spirit song, and Alice did a nice version for a movie, and now they're coming back with it there. And I believe at this festival you're looking at an attendance of around 100,000. So you're going to get this live concert footage of a small little crowd of 100,000 people. So it's going to be just kind of great in terms of the ambience there. I know a lot of times when you see some of the stuff, I've seen like numerous videos, particularly of Queen playing in Rio and other areas, and where it's these massive crowds, and it's a pretty cool environment. But I'm real excited about the set list. It does. For Alice tours, there have been a couple where he has a segment towards the end where he's kind of giving tribute to his dead friends, which Alice has outlived a lot of his friends. And so Keith Moon of The Who, you usually get My Generation. That's on this version here. The Doors, Break On Through the Other Side. He'll do a Doors song typically, and do a Jimi Hendrix song. There's not one of those on this set list, but it's a neat mix as I kind of go through it. It starts off with Raise the Dead, which actually is from Along Came a Spider, Alice album. I think an underrated album, and Raise the Dead's kind of an underrated song. I found it one of the better songs. I thought most of the songs on Along Came a Spider are pretty good. I really liked Raise the Dead. Ozzy Osbourne contributed to that track for the studio recording, and there's a decent amount of harmonica in it as well, which Alice does a very serviceable job on in concerts now. So kind of cool to see Raise the Dead. There's My Generation, I Got a Light on You, Cold Turkey, John Lennon song, 5 to 1, Break On Through the Other Side, so a little Doors tribute, Manic Depression. Oh, there's the Hendrix thing. 7 and 7 is off of the forgotten classic Special Forces. So 7 and 7 is Alice's take on 7 and 7 is super interesting in Special Forces. So it'll be interesting to see, because it was very Alice-y, his 7 and 7 version, his crazy aunt military Alice that he was doing during the Special Forces point of time. So it's a very growly, very gruff Alice. So it'll be interesting to see if this plays back a little closer to the original there. But I was really excited to see 7 and 7 is. I'm a Boy by The Who. I thought it was a very interesting inclusion. Not a rocker, fun song, good Who song. So that's on there. $1 Billion Babies and School's Out. I think we're familiar with those. Notice the album represented on this is $1 Billion Babies, Alice's best album of all time. I don't notice anything from his second best album. Did you, Mike?
No, the first best album is not properly featured on here.
Yeah.
Now it is interesting though, because we do get a few Alice Cooper songs on here. Unless I missed it, I don't see any Aerosmith or Johnny Depp centric songs though.
No. I don't either. You do get Brown Sugar, so you get some Stones as kind of the closer for it, so that'll be good to see. But yeah, I was a little surprised that there wasn't at least something from the Aerosmith catalog that would have made its way in there. But
do you know if they're doing anything from Aerosmith in the live shows?
I have yet to hear of an Aerosmith song being included. I mean, Alice and Steven Tyler are not of a similar vocal timbre. And so that might be a piece of it. But of course, Alice and Roger Daltrey aren't either. And they're doing My Generation and I'm a Boy. So I don't know, but I haven't really heard of any of the Aerosmith stuff kind of coming in there yet, but we'll have to see. And would really like to see them in concert at some point in time. Just kind of missed a couple of opportunities so far, but this Live in Rio will be a way to at least hear it. And they've got footage of the I've Got a Line on You. The video for it is the concert footage from there, so you'll get a sense of the crowd and all that. So worth a look. So mark your calendars in June, Live in Rio. Let's make this thing sell, make it stream, so people can kind of keep the Hollywood Vampire stuff going. Because Alice apparently likes to keep busy. Does his regular tours.
It does seem that way. New studio album on the way.
Yeah, a couple of those supposed to
out.
be. So good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Like Kelly said, the single is available now for streaming, and you can watch the video for it. The song, of course, is from the cinematic masterpiece Iron Eagle 2, the Alice version of it, which is directed by Sidney Furie, who is probably best known for Ladybugs. Good, wholesome family film you guys should all check out.
Yeah.
Bog Panda.